How's it going, everyone? AkibanaZero here, and I'm ready to do a reaction for the Volume 2 OST of RWBY. Right, so we've been hit by a huge string of blockings lately, which has made things ever so frustrating, so hopefully this doesn't happen with this one, and if it does, it can be unblocked swiftly, maybe, hopefully. Anyway, here's hoping, right? Here's another thing. I mean, you all keep telling me to do Flint of RWBY's videos, but I can't seem to find the songs from his channel organized in a way so that I can watch it without needing to, like figure out, oh, which song is which volume and all that. Anyway, it's not all organized in a way I can't figure out where it is, so I'm gonna use Hunt SD's playlist once more because it's convenient. If there are any mistakes in the lyrics, well, what can we do? All right. Anyway, it's all gonna be fun. It was fun last time. It's gonna be fun this time for sure. So yeah, let's kick it off with the very first track of Volume 2.
There's a point where it tips, there's a point where it breaks, there's a point where it
I love how this starts.
we just can't take anymore. There's a line that will cross and there's no return. There's a time and a place, no bridges left to burn anymore. We can't just wait with lives to take until they think we're ready. Our enemies are gathering, our storm is blowing down. Now it's time to say goodbye to the things we love and the innocence of God. All the time seems to fly. We're gonna get free love and the solitude peace we always knew. There's a day when we'll fight and we're not gonna fall. There's a day when we'll stand and a day when we won't crawl anymore. There's a moment in time and there's no going back when we push too hard and we won't hold our attack anymore. We can't just cling to childish things as evil just grew closer. Humanity's integrity, this fight is far from now it's time to say goodbye to the things we love and the innocence of God. With a doubt in our minds, truth is love, and it's time we get up were we born to fight and die? Sacrifice for one huge life. Are we heroes keeping peace, or are we weapons pointed at the enemy so someone else can claim a victory? Now it's time to say goodbye to the things we love and the innocence of God. All the time seems to fly. We're gonna get free love and the solitude peace we always knew.
Woo! That's pretty awesome opener for volume 2's episodes, because it's, again, it continues that theme of heroes being placed into a position where they have to fight, they have to save humanity, they have to be heroes. But then I love how it goes to that somber tone where the hero is always questioning a little bit, like why am I doing this? Who am I doing this for? Am I doing this because I am a hero, or am I just a weapon I love that line so much. Those those last lines over there. I love them so much because it kind of, it's a little bit of the soldiers. It's like a soldier's ballad over there. Like, they have to they're always questioning, am I doing this because I'm actually a hero? Am I doing this because somebody else wants to claim a victory, wants to gain something from using me as a weapon? Because that's always a big question and a very big theme that comes up a lot in superhero comic books and movies and cartoons. I love that it's a really big part of this show as well. Like, heroism is always something that's in question. It's not something that's always, black and white, right? Great. I love that. It's a great track. I think it's an amazing opener as well. Really sets the tone and all of that. So yeah, let's move on to the next song.
It was just fun, we lived in peace, looked to a happy ending. The days were bright, they shone like gold, every step ascending. Our dream came true, our path was clear, the moon was safely from above. But every smile is not the same, and every heart's not filled with love for mankind. Look around, it's getting very hard to find. Not every open wound is simply healed by time, but revenge is always sweet, and chaos is the pride. Feel it everywhere and see it growing. Enemies arise and hate is flowing, shattering the moon and flooding the sky. The seeds of war will fill all sides, and the grave will only grow more life. Farewell to days of peace, 'cause now it's time to Where did it go? Our peaceful youth seems to be gone forever. And in its place, a life of war, every truce that's severed. We live our lives watching our backs, unknowing who to trust or fear. The hate just swallows all the love, and all the truth will disappear. Lost and blind. Seems our dreams and peace have all been left behind. It's always said what clouds are always silver lines, but the future's looking bleak, and the storm is set to Feel it everywhere and you see it growing. Enemies arise and hate is flowing, shattering the moon and flooding the sky. The seeds of war will fill all sides, and the grave will only grow more life. Farewell to days of peace, 'cause now it's time to die.
It's always quite interesting to me how oftentimes the songs from Ruby, like, they deal like with these very bleak and very dark sort of messages and sort of situations, and yet they remain so upbeat, which is like really interesting juxtaposition. It kind of carries a little bit the tone of the show. It's supposed to be like really exciting and adrenaline fueled, but at the same time, it's all about the lyrics if you think about it a little bit, because what they're actually living in a very very dark world. Like, despite all the quirkiness and all of the humor and all that, it's a really dark world that they live in, because there are things happening in the background, but there's also a lot of bad things that have happened in the past. Like that whole situation where the girls were with Ublik and he was talking about what had happened in those underground caves. Like, just kind of shows like how dark and how bad that world actually used to be, and how dark and bad it still probably is, but somewhere under the surface. And I think this song kind of like, plays onto that, because it's talking about say goodbye, for it's time to die, because they're part of a war. They're slowly becoming a part of a war that they're not totally aware of at the moment. So at least that's how I interpret it right now, because there are some forces at play, and some people seem to be taking a more misguided approach, like Ironwood, for an example. Ozpin feels like there's something there that he's not talking about. Whether it's for bad intentions or good intentions remains to be seen. And then you got Cinder and her gang, which are up to something as well. And there's Torchwick. There's a lot of bad actually in the world, if you think about it. In this world that they live in, it's just really bad things happening. And I feel like this song kind of plays into that a little bit. It finds that those dark undertones over there and tries to bring them to light. That, hey, you know what? I mean, we see these girls as heroes. We see them as like these really powerful girls that are out there to try and do good, but they're part of this war machine, and it's all part of fueling that war machine that seems to sort of, in a way, exist because deep down everybody, in a way, kind of hates humanity. And this is what makes RWBY a very compelling character, is that she has no hate for anybody, right? She's got like really no hate for anyone whatsoever, even though she's lost a parent and other bad stuff has happened in her life. So yeah, that's a pretty killer song. So yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Baby, it's
Oh
time
yeah.
to make up your mind. I think that tonight is when our stars align. Honey, it's time to leave the doubt behind. Take my hand, 'cause you and I are gonna shine. I was cold in the dark, it was empty in my life. From the outside it looked so bright, but nothing felt right to me. Like a sky with no sun, like a night that has no day. My heart was eclipsed by the dark, then something changed. I saw a ray of light come through. The tiniest of sparks came into view. And then you made me hope again.
White guy dance here.
I've been watching you help and you wishing that you'd see that the girl you've been waiting so long for could be me. Now I've never been in love, but I think this is it. It might seem like a schoolgirl crush, but I have to admit, I wanna take a chance and make you see. I think then you're the one who rescued me. This time, you're finally gonna see you should be mine. But baby, it's time to make up your mind. I think that tonight is when our stars align.
Spelling error there.
Honey, it's time to leave the doubt behind. Take my hand, 'cause you and I are gonna shine. I won't need any dreams, it's all there if you're by my side. Every moment's enough, and you take me to paradise.
That's such a cool song. Love it a lot. And it's quite obvious that it's about Pyrrha and the way she feels about Jean, and also kind of talks a little bit about how she's like out of everybody's league and everything, and how she probably feels about that. Like she kind of feels like it's all dark. I feel alone. I feel scared. A little bit like Weiss in a certain way, right? It's just, has a little bit of that, loneliness. Like I'm an above other. I'm seen as somebody who's above others, but I long to be accepted and to be with other people who may, like, eventually be my friends or my lovers or something like that. Yeah, it's a pretty cool song. It's really nice and upbeat, and it's again a little bit talking about something a little, not as cheerful and chipper, but still it manages to be extremely upbeat. Love it, love it. Right, moving on.
I've been watching you lately, chasing your tail, and it drives me crazy. You'll never get that girl. Just seeing you, the things that I can see. The girls as cold, it ain't meant to be. Look, you'll never land a part in your world. I've been spending time wondering why nothing that I do can catch your eye. Just can't capture your attention. Maybe I'm too tall, I'm not your type, but I'm not giving up, I'll get it right. Being close to you is my intention. I see more in you than the rest of them do, and I'm not gonna let you fall. I'll follow my blind, time after time, 'cause you're worth it all. Whenever I think of you, how I wish you all I knew. You might be my dream come true. But what do I have to do to make you notice me? We would be alright. We could dance on the roof. We could light the night. Gonna make you see me in that way. Why don't you forget about the little chicken white? She don't care about you.
That
She's
chicken
so
white.
inside. Let me put a smile on your face.
Hey,
How I
back there.
wish that you knew that I'm crazy for you. When I'm with you, the time just flies. I'll guide you along, make you my own. It will be I can keep on waiting, 'cause my heart never safe. I think you're gonna figure it out. I'm the one for you.
Wilkie?
No one else. Whenever I think of you, and how I wish you only knew. You might be my dream come true. What do I have to do to make you my baby? Think of you. I never think of you. How I wish you knew that I
they look so great together, don't they? I think Rooster Teeth really, really loved this whole interaction between Pyrrha and Jean with this whole thing with Weiss and the dance and everything. Because, two songs dedicated to this particular ship over here is, yeah, great stuff. I think this song kind of brings up this one thing that, a lot of times we don't really consider. A lot of us are Jean in many cases. We like a girl and we can't seem to attain her, so we look elsewhere. But there's always that girl who's always out of everybody else's league, and we always think like, yeah, everybody sees this person, everybody notices them, but deep down, the person themselves who's up on that pedestal, they may be noticed, but are they actually noticed, so to speak? So I like how they address this and how they talk, how she says in the song, like, how will I get you to notice me? Even though he does notice her, and everybody notices Pyrrha because she's so great. She's strong, she's pretty, she's smart, all of that. She's all of that, basically. But still, she feels unnoticed. I feel that's pretty deep if you think about it, right? All right, let's keep moving on. Oh God. Right. That literally the soundtrack to my life. Right over there. That's my song. That's it. No questions asked. Caffeine. That's who I am. I love coffee. I really love it. It fuels my life. I can't function without coffee at least once a day. So yeah, there you go. That's all I have to say about this song. This song was written for me. I actually thought in the beginning when I first saw it in the show that this was gonna be this is Oobleck's theme or something, but it turns out it was that teams which I'm not really sure how you call them actually, but yeah. It was great. I really loved the scenes with them in the show, like the crazy weapons, and still we don't know all of their abilities and powers, which yeah, really excited to find that stuff out. Right. All right, let's move on. Sisterhood. I really like that her dress is white. I know that's because they ran out of time or something, but yeah, she looks cute in it.
Before we met, I dreamed about you. The peace you'd bring, the songs we'd sing, the way you'd make things new. Then one day you arrived. I heard your angel cry. Helpless, small, and perfect. Welcome to your life. And on that day, I made a vow, whispered and true. No matter what, no matter how, I made this promise to you. I will cling, I will clutch, I'll hold on to you. I won't turn away, I won't leave, I won't go, I will stay with you all our days. Years of joy have passed since then. With time, I'd see you grow. Watched you play, knew each day I'd beg the time to slow. And though I miss the little girl you've made me ever proud. Funny how our lives change, 'cause you're my hero now. But things in life will rearrange, friends come and go. Don't ever doubt, don't ever fear, I'm always here and you know. I will cling, I will clutch, I'll hold on to you. I won't turn away, I won't leave, I won't go, I will stay with you all our days. I will stay with you all our days.
Wow, that's a well, that's a really emotional song, kind of hit me a little bit in the feels. Kind of, it's not totally related, but it does feel a little bit also like a parent talking about their child, and I could feel that because I've recently become a parent myself for the first time, and yeah, I can see. I can feel like from that song like how it's you this new person in your life, and you just see them grow, and you feel like you just want time to slow down because you really want to savor those early moments. And I can definitely see also like how Yang feels about having Ruby in her life, being her younger sister who she's had to take under her wing and protect and guide, but also at the same time learn from her as well. I'm going to say this. I feel like probably Yang might have had it some of the hardest in the show, right? I mean, there is Blake, and she's had it hard being a faunus and everything, but you can't underestimate how hard and how difficult it is to support a younger person and a person that's younger than you and trying to guide them into the world. It's a lot of pressure, and it's very heavy on the shoulders, right? So yeah, I think Yang's probably had it some of the hardest in the show. Right. Okay. Let's move on.
Never knew a time when you weren't by my side. The one thing I could always count on. Always there for me. You've been my family. Even when all other hope was gone. But for a while things have seemed so different. Like it's the same but so brand new. I can't believe it. When did I start to fall for you? Have I lost my mind? Have I just been blind? Never to have seen you might be everything I need, everything I dream. All along, yes, it's been right in front of me. We've been together for a long, 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 long time. Never thought that you and I could be a thing. I can't believe it. This is heaven. I think, oh well, what am I to do? I didn't know that I was falling in love with you. And what to do right now, I haven't got a clue. I just bide my time, and when I want to say I love you, I Every chandelier wants to share her reign, so come and join me in my castle. We'll crush our enemies, bring them to their knees. I know I have a tendency to babble. When I think about you, I can't help my operations. My mind goes fast and my knees start shaking. My stomach does flips and my brain does falls. So the feelings that I'm feeling, I don't think that I can stop. I could just say it, I love your every claim, but I have to call myself if you're feeling just the same. Maybe I should slow it down, cut it so straight. Oh, second held, I think I'm gonna fail.
Okay, clearly Nora about Ren. Great. Yes, boop boop all that. That's amazing. It's pretty upbeat song. I love it. It's really awesome. Pretty cool. Yeah. That's it'd be interesting to see what happens between the two of them. I didn't figure that they've known each other for that long. I mean, I wonder what's the history there. Right. Keep it up.
Close your eyes now, time for dreams. Death is never what it seems. Did the things you thought you should, all the things they said were good. All your faith in ancient ways leaves you trapped inside a maze. Take the lives of those you need, throw the death and break the sea. Reap the seed. Born an angel, heaven sent. Falls from grace are never arrogant. Stars will drop out of the sky. The moon will sadly watch the roses die. In vain, lost no gain, but you're not taking pain. You can't have my life. I'm not your sacrifice. You can try, but I'm free, and you won't conquer me. I will crawl, stumble, I won't fall for you. Show them gods and deities, blind and keep the people on their knees. Pierce the sky, escape your fate. The more you try, the more you'll just breathe. Lies, truth will rise, revealed by mirror eyes. What if all the plans you made were not worth the price they paid? Even with the lives you stole, still no closer to your
Wow. That genuinely gave me the creeps a little bit. Right, so that's the quote unquote bad guys song, but I guess like, bad guy is a very it's a very relevant term, right? I mean, good good bad guys are not actually bad guys. They're born from something that has happened in the world, and it's just that maybe they have a different approach to attempting to change the world in a certain way. And we know that the White Fang has been revolting, and so to speak, and led by Torchwick and some other probably other forces in the background. And these people are not, they're not bad. They're actually just trying to reclaim their place in the world, and that's something that you cannot fault someone for. You can't just straight up call them evil or bad in that sense. And I think that song kind of portrays this fact a little bit, is that, you know, the bad guys don't come out because they're bad or they're genuinely evil, but it's because there's something that they want, and maybe they're just a little more misguided, or maybe there is a just reason for them to act the way they do. Right. Let's keep on moving.
They see you as small and helpless. They see you as just a child. Surprised when they find out that a warrior will soon run wild. Prepare for your greatest moments. Prepare for your finest hour. The dream that you've always dreamed is suddenly about to flower. We are lightning, straight from the thunder, miracles of ancient wonder. This'll be the day we've waited for. This'll be the day we open up the door. I don't wanna hear absolution. Hope you're ready for a revolution. Welcome to a world of new solution. Welcome to a world of bloody evolution. In time, your heart will open minds. A story will be told, and victory is in a simple soul. Your world needs a great defender. Your world's in the way of harm. You want a romantic life, a fairy tale that's full of charm. Beware that the light is fading. Beware as the dark returns. This world's unforgiving. Even brilliant lights will cease to burn. Legends scatter. Day and night will sever. Hope and peace are lost forever. This will be the day we've waited for. This will be the day we open up the door. I don't wanna hear absolution. Hope you're ready for a revolution. Welcome to a world of new solutions. Welcome to a world of bloody evolution. In time, your heart will open minds. The story will be told, and victory is in a simple soul.
There it is. That classic that classic opener from volume 1. It's a nice little rendition over there. It kind of changes the tone quite a bit, which is really really cool. I definitely, that song is talking about Ruby. She is a simple soul, and that is where a victory lies. That is where we are placing our hopes in, and that is Ruby. Right. Guessing that's the end of the soundtrack over there. Yes, really really cool. A little bit shorter than volume 1, but it's still some amazing tracks in there. I really dig in how these songs kind of, like, you know, give you more about the story, and give you a little bit more about the characters, and kind of, like, you know, build that world just a little bit more for you. And this kind of speaks volumes about how a show doesn't necessarily need to give you everything in the show itself. It can hide things, or it can present things in different ways. And that's what I like, what I'm liking about RWBY, is that it's short, and its seasons are short, or their episodes are short, but they deliver so much with each episode. They deliver so much. And if you actually get into it and you dig into the show itself and into all of its little individual parts, you actually discover a whole lot more is out there. And I think that's what makes that's what makes the fans really appreciate the show that much, because they get in, it makes them get invested into it. And it doesn't matter if there's, like, this really high production value, or if there's like crazy CGI and all that. There's a charm here that sucks you in, and then later you just want to explore more because you just want more of that, right? So yeah, I think that's a good place to stop over here. I hope you enjoyed the reaction to the Volume 2 soundtrack. If you did, please leave the video a like, because it helps my channel a lot. And if you want more RWBY and you want more RWBY reactions, more RWBY content, and more RWBY and BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, consider subscribing to my channel, and I will catch you next time.